Too often, we hear of another incident in which a student brings a gun to school and shoots innocent children. Time and again, we hear similar stories. The shooter was bullied. The shooter felt like an outcast within the social group. The shooter was dissed. The shooter had a vendetta against someone. All pretty simple and pointless reasons to go and shoot a bunch of people. I don't remember ever hearing that a shooter, school shooter, came from a Christian home where the teachings of Christ were modeled. Some of these shooters may have come from families that attended, the adults at least, attended church, and where the children were introduced to the gospel. Attending church means nothing as far as salvation is concerned. Our lives outside the church building have to reflect Christ. What these shooters lack is perspective. To them, the insult or the social ostracism are overwhelming. This would account for the children who receive taunts on social media and go nuts over it. There's a lack of perspective. To them, the insult or the social ostracism are just overwhelming. What they don't have is a larger, longer-term view of life. It's not unusual for teenagers, but it is the basis of our faith in Jesus Christ. We do not know the day or the time when we will meet Christ face to face. All of us will. Whether we have accepted Him or not, all of us will meet Christ at the judgment seat of Christ. See, since we don't know as Christians when we're going to meet Christ face to face, we take a longer view, a longer time frame view. We do know as Christians that we will spend an eternity with Christ. See, remember, for God so loved the world, He gave His only Son, that whosoever believes in Him will never perish. We'll die physically, but we'll never perish. We will have eternal life. It's the promise, John 3:16, that we must share that promise with as many people as we can. Where have we, the church, failed in these school shootings? Several generations have now come and gone, been brought up without any knowledge of the gospel. As a pastor, I've watched parents drop their kids at church so that they could have time without the kids around. But the kids are not really absorbing because there's no modeling going on at home. It isn't that the gospel is driving these kids away. It is that too many people who attend church and proclaim that they are Christians show no difference in the way they live than those who are not attending church. It is the long-term perspective of offering eternal salvation that we often miss. We invite people to church, but do we invite them to Christ? That's where they get the long term. That's where they get perspective.